I pull up, roll the window down it. I pull up, roll the window down it. Yeah, I pull up, roll the window down it.
Baby, you don't know what you do to me. Between me and you, I feel like chemistry. I won't let no one come and take your place. 'Cause the love you give, you can't replace. That's why I spend my life.
Hi, hotties, kettles, tea stirs. You here for hot tea. All commentary is alleged, and in my opinion, this is for entertainment purposes only. So yes, y'all didn't really ask for this, but I am a nosy ass person. So much so, I took some time to go and watch Destiny's podcast, which, might I add, Destiny is a fraud, okay? We're going to talk about all of it in this video. Hopefully she doesn't copyright me, but I got all my paperwork situated in case she does, because she's evil like that, and she isn't smart enough to know that nobody's watching that shit, so she should want somebody to interview it so people can probably go and watch it. So we'll see how this works. Initially, I went over here to just see what she was up to, seeing as though there was the whole van picture that Anthony Lofty's dropped. So it sparked me to do some research. Now, I checked out the interview that she had with Melnika, and I don't know, y'all. I'm going to go ahead and start by saying everything in this video is alleged, and in my opinion, I'm going to also go ahead and let you guys know that I think that, and this is just my theory. This is definitely just my theory. But Walkie Talkie and Melnika fell out. Now, in this podcast, Melnika was talking about like her relationships and her low-key being a yes man. And the minute she started saying no, you know, people started to act funny with her. I don't know. Part of me feels like that's Walkie Talkie. But also, for those of you that didn't know, Melnika is like a felon, apparently, and she had to serve federal time, which was only 7 days. We'll get into it in this video, but the reasons why she did federal time was very interesting, seeing as though Walkie Talkie is a user. She came back around the time that he was going through his divorce. We also know Walkie Talkie put his name, or have people put their name on certain properties and stuff like that. With that being said, this is actually very interesting to me, and I want to talk about this. So don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, hit the post notification bell so you are up to date each and every time that I upload. Now, I'm not saying Walkie Talkie did it, and I'm not saying she's talking about Walkie Talkie in this interview, but I will say that everything that they're speaking about is actually in alignment with who he is and why they had him around. I don't know, y'all. But before we get into it, y'all, I do plan on doing a debunker on Dusty Dan, because she is actually appalling. Like, she's a liar. She's Val. She is actually disturbing to me. When she did this podcast, I was thinking like, okay, she's going to make the podcast and she really is trying to like get out here and rewrite her wrongs. No. And we should have known that when she did the interview with Carlos King, because in that interview, she still gave nothing. And since she left the show, got fired from the show, she's kind of been all over the place. She's been an Instagram influencer. She's been a fitness influencer. She's been a thyroids influencer, which, might I add, is extremely weird, seeing as though if she did have thyroids, that would have been a great topic of discussion for the show that we never even got anything. Like, we were never previewed to that. She only has 4 videos and she hasn't posted within a month. So she's pretty inconsistent, just like she is with a lot of things in her life. Her first video was 2 months ago. Her last video was last month, so she might be dropping another video sometime soon. But like I said, she's pretty inconsistent with everything that she does. Have y'all checked out the podcast? Get in the comments, let me know. So we all know these 3 only have one thing in common, let's be honest. So when I went to her YouTube, this was the first video that I clicked. Now, like I said, I'm under the impression that Walkie Talkie has something to do with this lady being in the feds or getting locked up. And hear me out. She didn't necessarily say this. This is just my theory, because they are kind of talking in riddles, if that makes any sense. Like, they don't want to say too much. Now, granted, her paperwork may be on the internet, so I can go back and look at her paperwork. But I want to make this video first before I get into some of the debunkers. And in case you guys don't know who Melnika is, here she is.
It's not about me. It's not about her. It's about the kids. I mean, they're authors. They put their hard work into this book. They did.
They've been practicing. They've been reading.
They read every day. They read every day. They read Plane Ride to Canada every day. I don't know how Melody is going to feel later on down the line when she know that this is going to hurt the kids. I don't know where Melody's heart is when it comes to certain things like this.
How you feeling?
No, I mean, honestly, I'm hurting, you know what I'm saying? Because it's my thing that most of the things that I do, it is for the kids, you know what I'm saying? It's for my children. And this was major. That's something I started 3 years ago when we did take that flight to Canada. And I told them that's something I wanted to do with them. And so I put it off then, and now, they've gotten a little older and they were able to contribute now. So with them being able to contribute, it means that much more to me and to them. So, I'm hurt right now.
Being vulnerable. And to be able to be vulnerable, that's a big thing,
Yeah.
And I think even in the vulnerability, when people come in, there may be.
So I'm going to try to break this video up as best as I can. This is probably going to be 2 parts because I really want to just discuss the Melnika part, but I am going to clip some parts of Destiny in here talking because she is so aggravating to me. I just really cannot stand her. It's the fact that she sits in this episode and talks about narcissism while being friends with the biggest narc ever. And just giving you guys a heads up, I'm going to be planning, stopping, and giving you guys my thoughts and opinions. So let's get into it.
So today it was interesting to learn that 93% of people will tell you a lie before they tell you the truth.
I'm just going to give y'all a heads up. Y'all going to get tired of me because I'm tired of her. But her and Walkie Talkie tell lies before telling the truth every single time. And she wants to sit up here and say she would rather just not say nothing before she tell a lie. Like, girl, please.
It's interesting that we also have a high level of narcissism in our society today.
Let's let it be known that she is best friends or brother and sister with the biggest narc ever. Everything that Walkie Talkie have displayed is very indicative of a person that is suffering from narcissistic personality disorder. And this is just why I don't like her. She not real.
Because that goes hand in hand with not living in a real reality or trying to manipulate situations into the reality that person wants.
So does she not do that for Martell? And I'm sorry I'm pausing so much. She got music playing and I don't know why. And I'm not going to play it in this video, but Destiny started playing sad ass music when she started to give some background on her life and her marriage. And sidebar, she didn't give us shit. She didn't say nothing that we don't already know. But I can tell her weird ass did that in case somebody tried to screen record that message or that part of it and repost it. But sidebar, love, don't nobody give a damn about you. You're not interesting. You're a liar. And everything that you could have expressed on TV months ago, you should have, but you didn't.
Talk about you saying how it institutionalized you. I had never dealt with court, traffic ticket or something like that. But I never really dealt with court in the level that you deal with court when you go through divorce and custody battle.
So what Destiny is doing is using her marriage and custody issues as a means to gain sympathy from the viewers. The problem is, love, you are best friends and brothers with a man that had actively done the thing that you are about to try and speak out against, that I'm going to stop once that damn music start playing and move on to Melnika, because that's who we really want to hear about anyway.
Right. And then when you have a situation where the other party is constantly serving you, you're constantly receiving motions through the mail. I literally started to develop anxiety.
Right. This hoe is delusional. Like, this is the type of hoe that's literally actively brother and sister with a man that is doing what your ex-husband did to you to another woman. So this is why I say Destiny evil. She's either one of those evil, jealous women that feel like it happened to her, so it should happen to you, or she's just one of those evil, jealous women that want what you have. And so since you're going through those hardships, she's going to make it harder. Regardless of the fact, it's her sitting here going through the same things that Mel went through, but gave her no empathy. In fact, you literally co-signed everything that her abusive ex-husband did. It's crazy, y'all. But it's to hear her sit up here and try to gaslight us the way that her brother be doing. And this is the reason why I'm like, you know what? I want to go ahead and make a debunker with this hoe, because she think we are fools. And with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and skip through her part. I'm going to put her part in a different video. I really want to focus on Melnika.
Because it was bullying.
Yes.
Through the judicial system.
Correct.
Literally the same thing Walkie Talkie is doing to Mel. I'm literally going to have a field day with this hoe and these debunkers.
And for me, even having people serving me and beating on my door and coming around to just give me to show up at a deposition.
Mind you, this the same hoe that was relaying information that Mel was telling her to her stalker ex-husband that took her to court for full custody of her children and for child support destiny. Remember that, y'all, as this hoe sit here and try to garner sympathy.
To go back and forth about stuff that's so frivolous.
So we moving on because she finna play this sad ass music and try to get us to feel sorry for her. Girl.
And it scared the crap out of me.
I just had to play a small part so y'all can see the level in which she was going. Like, literally, she doing the most, okay? She Okay, you guys, in this next clip, Melnika is going to be talking about how she got charged with fraud for aiding and abetting to defraud the government back in 2012. What was interesting to me, she said she had a business in 2008, or she started her business in 2008. The year before, Walkie Talkie was convicted for aiding and abetting as well. Y'all know, this is the reason why we call him Walkie Talkie, for the ATM machine thing.
And it was aiding and abetting to defraud the government. I had allowed some friends to say they worked for me. They used a check stub, and I was charged with that. So now that's why everybody calls me a fraud.
All right now. Now hear me out. Like I said, she didn't say Walkie Talkie was involved. She knew him or anything like that. When she was telling the story in some of the things that she was saying, it literally aligned with what I felt like her relationship with Walkie Talkie was. And you guys are going to hear more about that as I play the video. But I think it's interesting that Walkie Talkie was convicted in 2007. She started her business in 2008 and then was charged in 2012 for putting in bad checks. Now, again, this may very well have nothing to do with Walkie Talkie, but you know, those dates are very, very close. Also, she talks about how she allowed people to use her and how she doesn't like starting relationships over. Mind you, this was somebody that was sleeping with him while he was planning his marriage or wedding with Mel. She was supposed to be the wedding planner, but then she told Mel that he was cheating on her. I guess Mel didn't believe her. Years later, we found out that they were actually having a sexual intimate affair or some type of relationship. So that's why I feel like she would do him those types of favors if this is indeed her talking about her situation with him. She also gives me the vibes like she would be quiet about it because she don't want no smoke with Walkie Talkie. But these are all my theories and not to be taken as fact. Also, Destiny, say thank you to me, ho, because the people gonna come and watch that video because they want to hear what she have to say about this situation. I only broke down a little bit of it.
Because I was charged with the purchases that they made that they foreclosed on.
So around this time, Walkie Talkie was getting into the property preservation thing, right? I don't know. Put a date on that, y'all. I could be wrong, okay? I could be wrong about around that time. But allegedly, that bad check or fake check or whatever the case may be was them trying to purchase property or a house or something of the sort. Now, we know Walkie Talkie to use other people's names in order to get him assets. So that's why I'm like, damn, like this is actually starting to sound like a pattern with him if you think about it, because he still have land out under Belinda's name. Him and Belinda have land together.
And so that's what it is. That's how people are able to Google and see the federal case because they don't know the details of it.
Mm-hmm. I haven't really Googled the federal case, but I've already told you guys that earlier in this video. But I do plan on doing that actually soon. The little bit that I was able to find about it wasn't much. So I don't know if it's closed or hidden. Who knows? But if he did have something to do with this part of it, how much of that would we actually know, seeing as though back in 2018, 2019, he got his arrest record expunged or pardoned by way of Mel being a good woman and being smart and having resources and connections and being in love with the criminal.
And so I was federally charged, went to court, and it was funny because when it was time for the judge to sentence me, she gave me no sentence.
Boom. This another thing that was interesting to me. So you get charged with trying to defund the government and they give you no sentence. I don't know. It sounds like you would have to know somebody. I could be reaching, y'all. I just thought this story was very interesting. Y'all get in the comments, let me know what y'all think.
But because of the PSI, because of the report and the numbers, the PSI individual came up and said, look, she has to go.
So basically, she's saying the judge didn't want to give her any time, but the PSI or the PSA, whatever, they said that she had to do some type of time. So I guess that's the amount of people that they arrest per year. I don't know what that is, honestly. But I have my own thoughts and opinions on how they do the justice system anyways. But that's neither here or there.
PSI.
Where the count in federal cases, they actually tally up the numbers for you.
Oh.
For you to be, it's not like with a judge. And the judge makes a decision based off of the count of the charge.
So all in all, Melnika is saying that she wasn't supposed to do time. She did time. But at the end of the day, the reason why they didn't really want her to do time was because it was a mistake or something like that. I don't really know, okay? I don't really know. Maybe she knew some people and had some strings pulled as well.
And so I was charged. The judge ended up coming back and saying she would give me 7 days. And I did 7 days. I've never ever been to jail before, but I did do 7 days. It's a tough situation that has me mentally in a space that is scary. Really never looked at my case until recently. I looked at my case. And for all the great people who had something to say about my case.
Who the hell has something to say about her case? I don't even think nobody even knew you, love. But maybe she talking about her close friend, Facebook family and friends.
Just wait on God. People usually have plenty to say with no details.
And I'm just trying to understand why you hoes don't just give the details, since y'all get so mad that people formulate opinions based on what they have to go based off of. Like, that is some dumb ass shit. Like, I allow people to create whatever opinions that they want because you're a fucking human. You can do that.
Welcome to my life.
But just wait on God.
And then goofy ass Destiny talking about welcome to my life. Oh my gosh. I wish she'd get over herself. This is what I'm saying. Fat face girls, you got to be careful of. And I know that's surface level and y'all don't like to hear it, but I'm telling you, girls with big face, they always have beef with girls with slim faces with high cheekbones. Look at Tisha face compared to male face. Look at Destiny face compared to male face. And look at Stormy face compared to male face. I'm sorry. I'm going to get off this surface level bullcrap. Because it's kind of a joke, but it's something that I really be saying because all the girls that ever had a beef with me had fatter faces than me. I've never just really had a beef with a girl with the high cheekbone, slim face combo because I feel like we all fine. Like, we digging ourselves. And that's not to say girls with bigger faces are ugly. I'm just being an asshole because it's Destiny we talking about.
Yeah, there was no money involved.
Duh, because walkie-talkie broke. Allegedly.
There was absolutely no money. The money that people see online that they're Googling or looking up, that is solely from what the purchases were.
So basically, they were trying to fraud the government by using fake or stolen money to buy properties or government things or something of the sort, which is typically when you're trying to use fake or stolen money to buy like land, property, businesses, etc.
The amount of the home.
And we realize now that we've gone back and looked at the case is that wasn't even right.
Oh, wow.
So what people saw is now back in court.
Right. So I don't know if she's trying to say that what they were purchasing or using was lesser than what they charged her for. So now she's going back in court to get it down or whatever. But that's basically what she had to say about this. So this last part, I'm going to let you guys hear it fully without me stopping, but this is the part where I was like, okay, she could very well be talking about walkie-talkie because it just seems like who he is, and that's the reason why he keep all of these women around, because they feel like or force themselves to treat these people that treat them bad a certain way. I don't know, this is just how I feel about black women. Black women, not all, but a lot of black women go through trauma and go through these issues because, again, we're black women. Our experiences are different from most women in the world. And so naturally, we learn to deal with our traumas differently, and we associate with people that still hurt us and harm us and make us feel less than whole. So when she was speaking about that, I felt like that had a lot to do with her and walkie-talkie relationship, and of course with some of her other friends and family that she probably had a falling out with. She talks about being violated at one point in her life and still associating with people that violate her or make her feel like she's less than. You know, it's a lot that I want to, break down with this, but I'm going to just leave this here so y'all can check out that part of it, and then we'll come back with a different video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, hit the post notification bell so you're up to date each and every time that I upload.
Share with me something that you feel broke you.
Sidebar, just one more thing. Like, can you share with us something that you felt broke you, hoe. You always talking about, oh, I was really broken, or people just don't know. Hoe, share it instead of asking everybody else to share their business while you share nothing.
Something that I feel broke me was being an empath. I want to save everybody. I want to see everybody win. I don't know how to cut people off. I want everybody to, okay, well, you did that to me, but I know that you have this greatness on the inside of you.
Oof.
And I know that that is something that has been a hindrance for me. Being an empath is dangerous.
Very much
and
so.
I believe that being an empath brings apart being a giver. And givers attract takers.
Absolutely.
Where people will begin to take from you. They'll begin to hurt you because they know they can't. They know you're not going to walk. And so I think partially being that empath started when I was younger. And people who I should have pushed away from me hurt me when I was younger. Who I couldn't say, hey, I'm done with you as a child, family members. And now that I realize at 40, that wasn't okay what they did. And they stayed. So now I keep people at being an empath, wanting to care for them and heal them, even in my broken space.
Yeah, I pull up, roll the window down it. I pull up, roll the window down it. Yeah, I pull up, roll the window down it.
Baby, you don't know what you do to me. Between me and you, I feel like chemistry. I won't let no one come and take your place. 'Cause the love you give, you can't
It's not
That's why I'm mine. I spend my life